Hey y'all, it's Megan. I am back with another episode of my podcast. It's been a little while, but life has kind of gotten a little crazy and I wasn't sure if people were really going to watch it, but I figured I'm going to keep doing it anyway because this gives me an outlet to talk about my knitting. So I have been knitting for about a year now, a little over, and I crocheted before that for about another year before that, so now for 2 years. I do not have anything on my hooks right now, but I do have quite a few things on my needles, and actually I finished a few things since last time too. Last time I talked about knitting a pair of socks for my son. These are my favorite vanilla socks, and they're finished, and he loves them. As if you can see, they're already getting worn quite a bit on the bottom of the foot, but that's fine. I'm super happy that he likes them. I pretty much, as soon as I wash them, put them in his room, he's wearing them the next day. So these actually just got washed and dried over the weekend, so I'll put them in his room and he will probably be wearing them to his field trip, which is tomorrow. So I also finished my 3-color cashmere cowl. I just have to weave in some ends, but it was a really, really fun knit. Lots of different combinations, textures, and I love the way the colors change up every now and then, so you definitely don't get bored. I didn't. Even the little lace panel up front, and it was super fun to knit. I really enjoyed it. This is actually probably going to be a very late Christmas present for my aunt who's coming down next month. She only comes down every few years, so we decided to do Christmas in March for spring break. So I'm probably giving that to her, and I will be getting some more yarn to make myself one. I made this with Knit Picks yarn, and it does have some cashmere, and it is very soft. It is a super wash, but I really wouldn't throw any of my knit stuff in the washing machine. I have a sink inside my washing machine, which my husband didn't ever think I would use, but I use it all the time, and it's perfect for washing hand knit stuff. So another thing that I am working on is my Inara wrap. In this, I've gotten the first lace section completely finished, and I am almost done with the second. And these are with Fabulous Fibers. I've had 3 mini skeins: the Out of Print, September, and Storm Wind. I honestly do not know which one is which. I balled them all up and was really playing with the color combinations, and I just labeled them 1A, 1B, and so on and so forth. So, I'm sure if I looked at the pictures that I have on my Ravelry page, you would be able to tell which one's which, but as long as they're labeled, they just need to be labeled for me so I know what to do and which order to knit them in. But that's a super fun knit. It's not Netflix knitting, as I like to say, but I love seeing the detail work pop out, and it's really coming together. Another one that I am working on, this was actually a Purl Together knit along that was done back in November. We started this, and I started it, and then I got carried away with doing all my Christmas knitting, and I was about 20 rows in, and I couldn't remember where exactly where I left off. So instead of trying to guess, because I was just a little bit in, I decided to rip it all out, and I started from scratch now that I actually have time to do this, and I can focus more on that. This one I say is going to be for me, but it might not be. I don't know. My mom's favorite color is blue, and this has a lot of blue, some purples and pinks that are going to be mixed in with this. So I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say for sure. This is another Purl Together Knit Along. We are doing the Nora's Vintage Afghan, and we're actually doing one block every month. And this, I don't know if you can see the cabling. This is block number 1. It's about halfway finished, and I am using Malabrigo Rios, and that is actually probably going to be a blanket for my husband. The Knit Picks Hue Shift blanket that I was working on has been put on hold indefinitely. I didn't have it stored properly, and the cream color ball was gotten a hold of by my dog, and she thinks she's a cat, and she had a lot of fun with that. And I've worked on it and I've worked on it, and it's to the point where I'm just gonna have to get a new ball because it's so tangled up and mixed up that it's giving me a headache just thinking about trying to unwrap all that. One more thing that I am working on right now, excuse me, this is the Pure Joy by Joji Locatelli, and mine is very, very different from most of the other ones that I've seen on the project pages, because the little eyelet pieces are actually supposed to be a very big contrast, but I don't care. I love it. This is Lolo Did It's Witch's Brew in the sparkle socks, and I really wanted that to be the prominent color. I wanted to see that, and I really liked the shape of the Pure Joy, and it's fun to knit. It keeps me interested because it's short. It has short rows that you work with the eyelets, and then it's just garter stitch too, which is pretty nice and easy enough to work on during the day. So I'm going to put that away. I did, it's Violet Beauregarde. That's the tonal color that I've chosen to go along with it. And that is actually also what my husband wants socks, and I'm sure I told you about that last time, but he ordered the Under Pressure plush sock from Lolo Did It, and that is actually going to be, the violet is actually going to be the heels and toes for his sock, and then I got just the little naked little Lolo for the cuffs, because I don't think that that's going to be the regular. I don't think that this is going to be enough to do a full pair of socks for him because he has really big feet. So I just wanted to play it safe and get him contrasting colors for the heels and cuffs, and that's actually what he picked out. He wanted the purple. So the purple actually was perfect because that goes along with my Witch's Brew, which is actually technically a Halloween colorway, but I think it would look really great for spring, and especially Mardi Gras. And Mardi Gras is pretty big around here. We're close enough to Louisiana where, I mean, we are really close to Galveston, and Galveston does its own Mardi Gras. So Mardi Gras is kind of big, and I love the colors. They're very springy and very fun, which is pretty much the opposite of the day we're having right now. It's super cloudy and just kind of dreary. We had a beautiful day yesterday, which I'm super grateful for because yesterday was Sunday. So we all got to play outside yesterday, and we had a great time. So I'm super happy. Some of the things that I'm going to be working on, maybe, the Periscoping Sisters have announced, they're another great podcast. Please go check them out. They have announced a mystery knit along, and I have bought it, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to get my yarn or not, but I am trying to decide between the unicorn and the wild horses. I've never done a mystery knit along before, so I'm a little nervous because I don't know what I'm going to be knitting. I usually like to know what I'm going to be knitting. But we're going to see. I'm going to see if I can get the yarn, and that doesn't start until April, so I still have some time. I've ordered from Lolo Did It. These two kits are from Lolo Did It. And you do have the option of getting a mohair skein with either of these kits. So I would really like that. I've never worked with mohair before, so I'm really curious to see how that's going to work. But I'm kind of leaning towards this one just because it's a little bit different. It's not my normal colors that I've knit with before. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I am also doing another mystery knit along potentially. It is the Gnome mystery knit along, where we're going to be making Natalie, and that's Natalie with a G at the beginning. And this is from Sarah with Imagine Landscapes, who also has an amazing podcast. So I've never done it. So not only have I never done a mystery knit along, I've never made any little toys or dolls or anything like that. So I'm kind of curious to see if I'll be able to work that out. But we'll see. There's a few kits that go along with hers, but I have picked out something. I have it in my cart with Lolo Did It because I love her and I know her yarn and it's great. The violet color I actually have is the plush sock, which is super, super soft and it's super fun to work with. The Pure Joy is actually the first time that I've actually gotten to knit with her yarn, and I really like it. So I do want to try other yarns too, but because I'm potentially going to be doing the Periscoping Sisters knit along and she has kits for that, I'm either going to get yarn from there, or I might even go over to my local yarn store and see if I can find yarn for at least the Gnome knit along, because that actually starts March 1st, which is Saturday. But that's pretty much what I'm working on. I am going to be starting my husband's socks probably either this weekend or next. I am scheduled to work this weekend. I'm hoping to work this weekend because if I do, that means I will probably be able to get the yarn for the mystery knit alongs. But if not, I have plenty of stuff to work on. I am trying to figure out what other colors I'm going to get for my next block, which probably will be right around the first of the month, next month. Janet is really good about getting her videos up on YouTube. I think it's going to be probably Tuesday or so that she gets the first Tuesday of the month. But she also works on a farm, so I mean, if she's a day or two late, I can't blame her. I mean, it's been a month since my podcast, and I don't work on a farm. I work with kids, mine. But I think that's about it. Oh, this is if you haven't seen, this is actually the Pure Joy. That's what it normally looks like. So you can see that mine is going to be very different because the contrast is not going to be there. You're just going to really see the eyelets, which I mean, I'm totally fine with. That is 100% absolutely, that is going to be mine because I love those colors. That's a retired colorway, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that ever again, especially in the sparkle sock base. So that is 100% going to be mine. And I think that's all I have. So if you guys are doing either of the mystery knit alongs or planning on joining, thinking about joining, let me know. but that's about it. I am trying to figure out, the only thing I'm trying to figure out is what pattern I'm going to use for my husband's socks. I did the ribbed Bigfoot for him last time. I really would like to do a little bit something different, so I might just kind of use the cast on number that I used for that, and then maybe do something a little bit different, like either the Snape socks or one of the Weasley socks that I found on Ravelry. As usual, as the last time, I will post a link to my show notes where I will put all the patterns and yarns that I have discussed. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to comment or leave me a message. All right, till next time. Bye, y'all.